Today we're gonna dive deep into shifting from surviving to thriving, right? So I have 5 points that I want to touch today, which I believe gives us a point of reference to understand survival mode and to shift into thriving, and to also see where we are maybe in our own journey, in own evolution and growth. Because right now, on a collective level, we are awakening our consciousness to who we truly are, and that is that we are awakening the awareness that we are creators. We are creators of reality, of our own realities, right? And therefore the collective reality on the planet. We are not victims. We didn't came here to complain and to suffer and to be having an experience that is less than who we are. An experience where we are not good enough, when we don't feel good, where we feel that we are in great pain all the time, in contraction, in lack and disconnect. We didn't come here for that. And while that is important to experience in order to understand what we truly want sometimes, right? Because we are learning from these places of deep darkness and heaviness. It's important to be responsible towards where we want to go and to take action on that at the same time. And this journey goes deep, the survival journey goes deep thousands of years ago. It's not something that we are dealing with in the last 100 years or whatever World War I or II started and stuff like that. No, this goes way behind, way beyond, since ancient civilizations, since even before ancient Egypt, since us humans was learning in the dark age that happened here on earth, because the earth was in a deep, long, dark age of thousands of years. And in that time, our consciousness was so low, so dense, that we couldn't see our divinity. We couldn't see that we are creators, right? That the divine flows through us. And so we perceived life from this place of survival, animalistic if you want, right? Oh my God, we need to secure our physicality, we need to conquer lands and territories and go to war and fight one another, and therefore experience disease and famine, and you cannot even say dysregulated nervous system, because we were constantly in fight and flight. You were walking through the forest thinking, I hope I survive today, that someone doesn't kill me. Like, we come from that lineage. All of us come from those lineages, right? In the darkest places of humanity, where humanity ever been, that is how it was. You needed to, the survival of the fittest. So survival mode is deeply, deeply wired into our DNA and into our memory, soul memory. So we have to let go of that template nowadays in 2026, because it is not the case. We don't need to operate from that place. However, most of our societies are built on those templates. They are still operating from those templates. Our governments operate from those templates. There's still war in the world. People still bombing and killing each other. Not normal people like me and you, but those who are at the steering wheel of nations, right? And we're not here to blame anyone. We are here to simply speak truth, right? And if we look in the world today, presently, we are 90% still operating from survival as a collective. People are still selling their time and their energy for someone else's dream or business or work, and they do things that they are not supposed to be doing to earn a living. To earn a living, right? Because society expects you to act and be in certain ways, and our culture and families expect us to be in certain ways, to have certain jobs, so that we can be worthy, we can survive in this society. Well, we are not here to do that. We're not here to earn a living. So we didn't come here to please anyone and to earn a living. We came here to create a life. We came here to access deep in our soul our excitements, our gifts, who we truly are, and live from that place, right? And some of you might have inspirations, might have gifts and wisdom to share with the world, right? Some of you might want to build something, to create something, to shift something in society, to completely live remotely somewhere and have a garden and live off grid, or whatever that reason is. It's your 100% right to do so, and you can not earn a living but thrive doing so as well. That reality is available to you, and I'm saying this because that reality is available to me, and I'm living this reality for years now, for 10, 12 years almost, actually. And each year was better and better and better and better, up until I reach a point right now where, to be honest with you, I get paid for who I am, not even for what I do. I get paid for the work I already did, passively, effortlessly. And what I'm doing is with such excitement, with such joy and service and devotion, that just fulfills my heart. And it's so beautiful to experience this reality. And there is so much more that we can do from this place. There's so much impact we can have in the world. There's so much service that we can do. There's so many people that need support to awaken to who they truly are. Right? So the first thing that we need to do is to understand the deep ancient programming of survival mode. This is the first thing. And rewire it out of our system, to stop operating from it, to stop believing the fears, the insecurities, the anxieties, and all of these things. Once we stop doing that and trust the Creator inside, God, the universe, however you want to call it, once we root deeply in that reality and take action towards that, then we are going to rewire that survival template. And it goes deep. It is emotional. It is in our nervous system. It's not just here in the mind. This is what everyone needs to understand. And the part of this is also to rewire it for abundance, to rewire it for prosperity, not to just eliminate the survival mode, but to wire yourself for success, to wire yourself for prosperity, for thriving, for believing in yourself, for believing that you are worthy to be paid based on who you are and what you love to do. Because we're still living in a world where money is part of the process, part of the exchange. And I don't think that money is wrong. I think how we use it is the problem, you know. The second thing we need to do is to realize that life and the Creator is always good. It is your ally. Life is your ally. How many times have you blamed life for everything that happens to you? Even God or the Creator. Why do I have to experience this again? Why do I have to experience like lack of money? Why do I have to experience this toxic person in my life? Why do I have to experience this and that? You know, how many times do we want to blame what we are attracting in our reality on life, on the Creator, on our family, on our friends? How many times? Many, right? So we have to understand that this reality, this universe, the Creator, is simply mirroring us the things that we need to overcome, the things that we need to outgrow, the things that we need to finally look at. So if you experience pain, if you experience dysregulation, if you experience lack, if you experience disconnect, is because there is disconnect inside of you. So claim it, look at it, sit with it, don't run away. If a person hurts you, it's because there is a part of you that is still hurt inside. That's not to say that, someone can take an action that is negative towards you, but it won't hurt you if you're not hurt. If you don't have a match to their frequency, it won't hurt you. You won't take it personally. You will have compassion and say, oh my God, that person is really hurt for doing such thing, from operating from such place. Right? That's when you know that you have healed. But if someone can have the power to hurt you and succeeds many times, and you see that there's a pattern happening, it means that that's a lesson. There's a lesson there. And the Creator is so good. You have to understand that life is so good that it really shows you your pain so that you can move through it. It will be unfair to you or to me to always receive good things, because we wouldn't enjoy it, because we are in pain. When we feel pain inside of us, we cannot enjoy the good things. We didn't earn them. We need to face that pain. And I am the perfect example for that. I'm going to tell you a little story. I lived on an island 5 years ago, 6 years ago, near Bali, in the middle of COVID, with 50 of my best friends. In that time, I lived in Bali for 4 years, and I moved to that island in the middle, or an island separate from Bali that belongs to Bali, but very small. And we all 50 friends moved into the best villas on the island. I had the greatest view. Everything was perfect. However, I felt miserable inside of myself. I didn't feel good, and I didn't understand why. I had turquoise water every day, like literally 1 minute walking. I had the greatest friends. I had money, food, everything I wanted, and I felt miserable. I didn't feel good. I felt unworthy of it. Why? It's because my shame and guilt that I had inside of me that I didn't process didn't allow me to enjoy my experience. Right? So even if you attract the greatest things in your life, if you haven't processed your heavy emotions, you won't enjoy it. So this is why the Creator is good and shows us even our pain. It shows us our shadows. It shows us what we need to work through. And then we receive our blessings, we receive our miracles after that. It's amazing, right? And the Creator is not like a force that judges you and decides, you get this and that. It is simply a reflection of what is inside of us, because we are that Creator. That Creator is part of us. It's part of who we are. So you have to really ground yourself into the knowing that the Creator inside of you or outside of you, however you want to perceive it, the universe, source, however you perceive God, is always working on your behalf, is always good for you, even when it gives you pain. Even when it doesn't give you pain, you feel like pain. It gives you reflection so that you can address that, so that you can shift from it. That's what it gives. So you have to trust that at all times. When in the best times, when everything is good and feels nice and expansive, and everything works for you, and also in the times when it doesn't. So, the third point that I want to speak about, I hope you still hear me right, because rain started here and I'm in Costa Rica and it's rainy season right now. Let me know if you can still hear me properly. Yes, okay, amazing. Beautiful. So the third part that I want to speak about when it comes to surviving and thriving is that in order to truly feel like you're thriving, you need to operate from your purpose, mission, consciousness. Right? If you have a job that is really great paid, let's say you make $30,000 a month from your job, but you are not doing what you have been called to do, your purpose, your mission, your soul excitement for that money, you're still surviving. You're still in survival mode. You're just at the top of it, where it gets a little bit better because you can afford all of the things, but you don't have the time to spend it. You know what I mean? And you feel 8 hours a day or however long you work, you feel not excited. So you need to shift into your purpose, into your soul calling, to take action. And it's okay to even have a job if it pays your current situation, and transition slowly, or do do both things at the same time, so that you can at some point be so solid, so secure in yourself that you can earn your living, earn your life based on your purpose and mission, rather than doing things for someone else because it pays good money and because that's how we've been trained, right? And if you don't want to, that's okay as well. Then you have to find a way to fall in love with what you're doing. You have to find a way to find excitement in what you're doing. It's even if it's still survival mode, it's okay. Not all people in this lifetime are going to shift from survival to thriving completely. But I trust that if you are here, maybe you're called to do this in some way, to some extent. So we have to operate from the consciousness of purpose and mission and really excitement, and you being the creator of your life, rather than someone else is telling you what to do, rather than having a boss that tells you what to do. And again, temporarily also is okay, because we are learning sometimes, right? We are learning through those people, we are learning through those environments, to those scenarios. So we have to be grateful for it, as well as really listening inside and said, is something else that is calling me deeper? Is there a deeper purpose? Is there a deeper reason why I'm here? You have to listen to that as well and honor that as well. And at some point when you need to transition, then you can. Personally, with my clients, this is the work I'm doing. I'm having clients that, for example, were years, even more than decades in corporate world, and we are transitioning into their mission, into their purpose. So it is a deep journey. I'm not here saying that it's easy, do it overnight. No. Look at where you are in your journey, honor where you are, and be honest with yourself. If you still are okay with that reality, there is no problem at all. No one can judge you. There is no wrong or right. It's just that you need to be aware of, where you want to be. If it's a purpose calling you deeper and you're constantly saying no to it, then you will feel that. You will feel that at some point. It's going to knock on your door and tell you, hey, what are you doing? How do you show up for me today? Do you really want to live the destiny that you came here for? Or create something new? Or are you happy where you are? And if you're not happy, you have to honor that. Another thing that I want to share, the fourth thing that I want to share, is that being paid for who you truly are and what you love doing, that is true wealth. That is thriving. Even if it's $1, even if it's one single dollar, if that comes from your soul, from your creations, from your excitement, from your deepest passions, from your mission, however you want to call it, then you are already $1 pure wealth, true wealth. Because most people are trying to find trends in crypto and investments just to play the survival game. This is what it all is. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to invest, no, but where do you make your money from, like as a base? Do they come from deep, from your purpose deep, or do they come from playing survival games and you're locked into that game with a nervous system your entire life? That's something we need to ask ourselves, yeah. So ask yourself, where does it come from? And yeah, Kisha says, even if it comes from free trees. That's how it's supposed to be. Like food, if you ask me, we should have trees all over the world, all over, like on all streets. Food should never be a problem, right? Like the fact that we made food to be, related with survival. You need to pay for it to get it. No, you need to exchange, maybe, right? Like in the past, I had apples, you had tomatoes, and we will exchange that, and then money became as the middleman, right? Which is great, because sometimes you don't need my apples, and so I can exchange with money, and so I can buy something else with that. So money is not a bad thing. Money is not a bad guy here. Okay? Nothing is really free if you think about it either, because everything has a cycle of death and rebirth. Everything comes and goes. Everything is transformational, including trees. We need to take care of the trees, right? We need to put in effort. So it's not really free. It's just that we don't pay, but we put in work. So everything implies and requires some form of exchange and effort from our side. Yeah, so earning a living based on who we are is the greatest form of wealth that we can experience. And I'm saying this not just in theory, it's because nothing else felt better for me. I tried all the ways. I've been at the top of societies. I've been working in a startup as an employee, and I reached that point where I was good paid and all of that. It didn't work for me. I had to work for myself. I had to earn a living being who I am and doing what I love, not what the world tells me to do, not what survival mode tells me to do. And when I experienced that, and that's how I live for the last 10, 12 years of my life, nothing else feels better. I feel liberated, I feel free, I feel excited for every single day. I'm in charge of my time, my energy, everything. I'm 100% in charge of my life. No one else is. No one else is intertwined with it either. Only myself and the creator inside of me and everywhere around me. And so it's beautiful. That feels like wealth. Like true wealth. And the last thing I want to speak about, can you guys still hear me? Because the rain starts to be heavy. Do you hear the rain as well? I'm curious. Okay. I hope it's not so strong that it bothers. Without the rain we wouldn't have paradise. So water is life. Amazing. Thank you for sharing, Kisha. Yeah, it takes some really good connection with nature to appreciate rain and its power, right? Okay, the fifth point that I want to speak about with you is survival mode. Survival mode, especially in purpose-related work. So there's many people that have a purpose. Maybe you're one of them. I am one of them. And they make their money from their purpose. I'm one of them. And my creations and everything I love to do, I'm one of them. And what I'm here to tell you is that sometimes survival mode is so deeply engraved in our cellular structure that even in our purpose we operate from survival mode. So sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm having this guilt that I didn't, do enough in the day before, or I'm like, oh, I need to do today so many things and I'm gonna crush it, and I'm coming from that energy of productivity, of performance, even in my purpose. So that's how deep survival mode tells us that we are not doing good enough. We are not allowed to rest. We are not allowed to take it easy. We cannot, we are like trained to be products. Slavery. Slaves. I don't know how to say it in an easy way, but that's the truth. We are so deeply trained to perform that we cannot rest. We feel guilty when we take a break. And so I see that even and especially when we operate from purpose, when we are focused on our purpose, we can still operate from this frequency of survival, instead of realizing that we are whole, that especially when you show up for what you believe in, life is going to provide for you, the universe is going to show up for you, it's going to show up with a plan, it's going to show up with the structure, it's going to show up with the energy. If you do your best you can, without needing to prove yourself. We don't do this to validate our inner worth and value to God, to tell God, look how worthy I am. We don't do it for that reason. We are already chosen and worthy just by being here. Can you sit with that? Can you grasp that and sit with it and accept this as truth for you? You are worthy just by being you. So it was never a question whether you are worthy or not. The question is whether you are excited to live a great life, whether you are ready to show up for what you believe in. That is the question. But not from survival, not from performance, but from where you are in your journey, what is available for you every single day. Where is your energy at? You cannot push and force things. We are done with that frequency of pushing and forcing and controlling. We are operating from pure alignment, and we can generate that, and then everything we do is so much greater. We have so much more impact in everything we put our efforts. So we have to understand that we are whole. We have to understand that we were never in lack. We are never unworthy. We were never less. This is something that we somatically need to experience in our bodies. Do you feel unworthy? Do you feel like you're lacking something? Do you feel guilt and shame? Do you feel like an imposter? Do you have deep doubts somehow that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you're not deserving to have a great life? Survival mode is so deeply engraved, and it comes in so many forms and shapes. And all of it is story that we believe, deep ancient stories that we believe, that come from our ancestors, that come from our grandparents who are deeply involved in war. Of course we feel that. Of course we have it in our system. Of course we need to feel it and face it so that we can dissolve it once and for all from our consciousness. And that's going to be a longer journey. So that's what I want to share with you today. And wherever you are on this journey, trust yourself. Trust that you can thrive. Trust that you are the creator of your reality. Trust that you are whole. Not trust, but know. Know that you are whole. Because the creator is whole. The creator that created everything that exists is whole. The creator that created us humans, plants, animals, planets, galaxies. It's a whole force. It's not a distorted force. It's a force of good, love, however we want it. And we are that because we are an image of that. So how can you say that you are lacking? Even if you are lacking, is it really? And if that's the case, why have you reached that point? What happens? What beliefs you have? What do you believe about life? And most importantly, how can you show up and change that? How can you show up differently from now? Because we are all shifting on this earth slowly and surely from surviving to thriving. This is what we are doing collectively. We are shifting more and more from surviving to thriving. Even AI, we are blaming AI to not be good, to technology is not great, yet we use it. Technology is here to give us comfort, to make our life easier, to have support. But it's up to us how we use it. We can use it to extort, to do bad things, to use it as a weapon, which people, they still do that in war. Or you can use it for your benefit. It's a gift that as well comes from the Creator. So it's a matter of shifting the perspective, rewiring all of those versions of you that operated from survival, and it takes some time. You have to be patient, you have to be gentle with yourself. It's not overnight, and that's okay. That's what I wanted to share with you today. And for those who feel really excited to do this, to show up for themselves, to show up as the creator that they are, to show up in their mission, if you have something that wants to be expressed, if you want to be seen in the world for who you are, for doing what you love, I have a community where we keep each other accountable, supported through direct coaching calls every single week. We keep each other empowered, accountable, excited, we celebrate, we dive deep. And there's many creators in it that are on the same journey with you. And so it nourishes to see that there are people who do the work, people who show up. So if that's something that you want to be part of, by all means connect with me. Send me a message, depends on when you see this. Check for info below as well. I'm also going to post my Instagram here. You can reach out to me there. My name is I'm Alex Buta on Instagram. And you can join this community. You can test it out and see if it's for you as well. And if it's not, no attachments, you just remove yourself from it. If it doesn't resonate, if it doesn't feel like it's for you, no problem. But if it feels like you want to be masterful in your craft, in who you are and what you're doing, join us. This is what it's all about. It's called the Masterful Creators Tribe, and it's still intimate and fresh, so looking forward to have you in. And now for those that wants to go deeper, I'm also doing one-on-one, so also feel free to reach out for that. And private retreats here in Costa Rica for we can be together for a few days and dive deep and live like this amazing paradise life here. That's also available. And never forget that you are the creator of your journey, of your life, and that you deserve the best at all times. And even if you are in great pain, even if you are in great struggle in your life, trust that as well can be good for you. There is goodness in that. There is lessons in that. There is alchemy in that. And I pray that you can shift from that, if that's what you want. Okay. Lots of love. Have a blessed rest of the week and weekend. Ciao for now.